points in the first half. I thought that was a great effort by us. So really good win for us. We feel like we're capable of doing these kind of things. I think Carter told me it was the largest win over a top 10 team since program history. But it gets easier when you're a top 10 team. And so, we're very fortunate. I thought our kids played very, very well.
Start in the back with Ryan.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Good, man.
Use the microphone, please.
Thank you. Coach, just talk a little bit about, you talked a little bit about the physicality of this. You guys just attacked. I know last time it was a little bit different, but you guys really kind of brought the pain this way.
Yeah, hands down, they're the most physical team in our league, and they use it to their advantage. They come out and they pressure you, 90 feet away from the basket. They put a lot of pressure on you, both ends of the floor. And I thought we handled it well, and that was our focus. We knew we had to change some things after we played them the first time. That's been our mantra since then, is to be physical on both ends of the floor. And, you can't allow them to knock you off your spots. And they did that at their place. I thought we handled it much better here. And the kids understood the assignment, and they went out and they executed it. And you have to do that against a team like Duke because they're too talented to give them possessions. And I thought we limited that tonight and did a good job.
You've continued to talk about how you want your team to be the aggressor. 3 straight games now, you guys have come out and punched the other team right in the mouth and ran away with the game and controlled the game from there. What about the way this group has started lately, particularly tonight, and the defensive effort, just really not giving anything up early, has kind of helped you guys get off to these hot starts?
Yeah, one of the things that this group is very, very smart, and they have the ability to take away opposing teams' offenses because they know them. They're a very smart basketball team, and I thought we were too smart. We got to the point where we knew teams' plays too well, and we were trying to beat them to their spot, and maybe they would make an adjustment, and then all of a sudden they would score. That game in particular at Duke. And we've started to limit what we've given them, and it's been more of a focus on playing. All right, yeah, this is what they're going to do. They're going to get you in this situation, then you're going to have to play. And from that, now we're a little bit more physical. We're not jumping and gambling because we know what they're going to do. We're playing basketball, and we're limiting them, and we're getting out there and we're being physical. And then, as far as the offense is concerned, we're starting to really understand each other and understand, what we need to do. Very common for us to make an extra pass so we can get a great shot instead of a good shot. And kids are starting to step up and knock them down. Georgia's been playing great. Liz has been playing great all year. Kayla King is stepping up and doing some things. And Taylor Soule is getting very, very comfortable. And we're getting comfortable with Taylor Soule. And so this is a great time to be peaking. And I like where we are right now. And then the kids are playing very well together.
On the right, Will.
Coming into this game, Duke had 50, or allowed opponents to score 50 points a game. You guys scored over 50 in the third quarter. What was working so well offensively?
We changed some things up. We really did. We played them the last time, and they were extremely physical with us. They fronted Liz. They had one in front and one on the backside, and then when she got the basketball, they were extremely physical with her. We moved her around quite a bit today. We put in a couple new wrinkles in our offense. Georgia was a lot better. We handled their press better today. I don't really think it was a factor. We got out of it, and we got into our offense quickly. Where the last game, it really wore us down. It really wore us down, and that's I can't speak for them, but that's what they've been doing. They will pressure you, and they wear you down. And by the fourth quarter, teams are exhausted, and that's why you've seen them. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Mark, use the microphone.
Kenny, what did you see Liz and Georgia doing to attack their defense this time around and handle that physicality that maybe they weren't in last month's meeting?
They were ready for this game the day after we played that game, and that's how good both of them are. And they're students of the game. They do something that it took me a long time as a coach to be able to do. I used to we'd have a bad game as a coach, and I didn't want to watch the film. I hid behind this sheet of saying move on to the next one, and with them they don't care if they play 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. They play great, they play bad. They want to watch the film and they want to learn. And the day after we played that game, they both knew what they did wrong, what they needed to do better. And Liz and I, we worked on some stuff, the last couple of days, and this is where we're going to put you, and this is where you're going to get your shots, and this is how we're going to do it differently. We're not going to allow them to front you and be physical with you. We're going to move you around. And she got to her spots, and she knew where she was going to get them, and she took advantage of it and capitalized on it. Georgia, we didn't want her to have to handle the ball the whole game. Taylor Soule did a tremendous job bringing the ball to the floor a couple times, and so did Kayana Traylor. And we were able to move Georgia around a little bit. And so, this is one of the very few teams we get to play twice, and you get to learn from your mistakes the first time. And I think our pod is a gauntlet. You look at our pod, us, North Carolina State, and Duke. Virginia's a good basketball team. So, it's tough. We're beating each other up, and hopefully we get better for it in March because of it. We're playing postseason basketball right now. The last 3 games it's postseason basketball. The one on Sunday is going to be like a postseason basketball game. The one on Thursday is going to be like a postseason basketball game. And then we're heading into the ACC tournament. So we're just getting a jump on it and learning how to play it right now because all the teams we're playing are very, very good.
Anthony in the back.
Kenny, kind of building off of that, not that your resume necessarily needed a stamp, but did this feel like a big one when it comes to both the league standings and the NCAA tournament seeding?
Honestly, Anthony, we're and the great thing with this group is that there is a bigger picture, but we're not looking for it right now. They're focused on one game at a time. And today, to get their attention was we lost to them last time. All right. Sunday will be that it's NC State. Okay. Thursday will be because it's North Carolina. And, we've had more games against NC State and North Carolina than we have, a lot of teams. And so these kids are really good at focusing at one game at a time. And sometimes I feel like I have to tell them what's on the horizon. But they just lock in. They lock in. They understand that, you can't get to tomorrow until you take care of today. And they really are locked in and focused on the task at hand. And I'm very proud of them. And it's fun coaching them because it's not hard getting their attention. They're really locked in what they need to do.
Tim.
Kenny, coming into this kind of 5-game stretch, I know this was kind of highly circled as we're going to find out a lot about how good this Virginia Tech team is. You guys have won 3 straight now by double digits against ranked opponents. What is the ceiling of this team, and what has enabled you guys to kind of elevate your game?
We continue to do what we're doing and play to this capability. There are a lot of teams that we can beat, and I think it puts us in the upper echelon. And it's not far-fetched to think about it. We're right on the cusp of being a top 10 team. And so, honestly, probably everybody know who's the favorite right now. And I think there's a lot of teams after that anyone can get there. And I think that we put ourselves in that position that we can get there, and anything can happen. So we continue to just improve and play, feed off of each other, understand the assignment, and execute it. Sky's the limit for us. I really believe that. I know a lot of people say it, but I don't think that there is really a team out there that we don't feel like we can go compete with. Some teams are deeper, some teams are bigger, but we have all the elements. We can play inside, we can play outside. We were strong in certain areas, and we're experienced. This is an experienced group, and I think we give ourselves a chance to win any game that we play if we play like we're playing right now.
All right, time for a few more. Go in the back to Brooke.
Last 3 games, you guys started out really fast and high scoring, getting that lead quick. Is that just kind of like you said, you guys are gelling, you're not worried about getting ahead of the other team's plays and you're just playing? Or is that kind of an emphasis you wanted to see as we enter the stretch?
No, I wish I could sit here and say it's something that I did or said. It's just what we've been doing gradually. Georgia's playing out of her mind right now, and that's a big reason for our success. Liz is playing well. We have so many other people stepping up and playing well, and we're a dangerous basketball team because we don't have to rely on just 2 people or 3 people. We have 5 or 6 kids who can go off on any given night. So they're gelling. They understand the assignments, like I've said before. They're in practice right now, and they're so businesslike, workmanlike. They come out, they know what they have to do, they get here, they blah, 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 they work, they execute, and then, we can get out, and we can be efficient with our time because of their experience, and they're gelling right now, and it's really a thing of beauty. It's a lot of fun to watch them right now because Kayla and Georgia and Liz could probably run the practice right now if they wanted to. You know, I would have that much confidence. They know exactly what we do, what's going to happen, and they're very focused and locked in right now.
Ryan?
Speaking of a player that's always locked in, the importance of Taylor Soul
Oh, man.
to constantly bring the energy, even if you might hit a rough patch. She's constantly bringing that energy. How important is that to this squad? And I know at the beginning of the season there was that gelling, but it seems like it's definitely come together and computed, right?
She's gelled. She's a part of our system. What we're doing. It was hard. We were trying to get to know her. She was trying to get to know us. We were trying to figure it all out. I've said it's been documented. She and I had a coming to Jesus meeting first of the year, and she just wasn't focused, and I pulled her to the side and I brought her in. I said, look, you told me this is why you came here. You wanted to elevate your game. You wanted to play at a higher level. You wanted to win. You wanted to do all these things. And I said, you're wasting time. And she took that to heart. I said, Liz and Georgia, they watch film with me after every game. They watch film with me. They work out with me. They contact me. I don't contact them. And I said, if you want to be as good as them in our system, you need to do the same. And from that day forward, she has not missed an opportunity to watch film, to work out. And she's locked in and she's focused, and as a result, she's playing great. She's playing great, and she's a big reason why we are starting to elevate our game and gel. It's because we are understanding what she does well, and she makes us very versatile. We didn't have to put her on Day Wilson tonight, but we have that luxury. We can do that, and she gives us the option, the versatility that we can put her on a lot of different people. And we can play a lot of different ways, and I think that's what makes us dangerous.
Last two, Will, then David.
Before this stretch of ranked opponents, you had talked about how it shouldn't be looked as though Tech has to play all these ranked opponents. It should be on the flip side. All these teams have to play Virginia Tech. How does this win tonight really validate that
Well,
statement?
it validates it because it was the next one. But I really meant that. When I first got here, we had a string of ranked opponents that we had to play against, and we weren't ready. We weren't good enough, and it was a daunting task. But now when I look at it, every time I'm like, okay, man, we have to play number 9, Duke. I promise you, Duke is saying, man, we have to play Virginia Tech. When we say we have NC State on a Sunday, I promise you, NC State's man, we have Virginia Tech, and that wasn't the way it was in the past. And now it's fun. It's fun because our kids walk out on the floor, and like Duke has probably 5 or 6 McDonald's All-Americans, 7. All right, we play Carolina. They got the same amount of number. NC State, they've got a lot of them. But when we walk out on the floor, we feel like we're as good as anybody. And if we play that way we're capable of playing, we feel like we can beat anyone. So that's what I meant by that, and it feels good. We're playing Duke, but we also know that Duke has to play Virginia Tech. We're playing NC State, we're playing Carolina, but they also have to play Virginia Tech. And that's the mindset that we have, and that's the confidence that we have.
Last time you guys played, Day Wilson goes off, has 18. You guys limited them to 14 in the first half. They only made 1 field goal in the second quarter. Besides simplifying stuff for the girls, what specific was different about this defensive performance?
Well, we mixed it around, and Georgia's great. Georgia does a really good job, but I think Day Wilson got comfortable because she was shooting over top of Georgia, and so we switched the matchups. We put KT on her to start with, who's a little bit longer, a little bit more physical. Then when we switched and we put Kayla King, who's longer. And so I think that bothered her a little bit. I think, maybe she thinks differently. But that was our game plan, to try to have a bigger defender on her. And the kids executed it. We had the option of putting Taylor Soul on her, but we felt like we didn't really need it. We wanted to save her a little bit. But that's the beauty about our group. Like last year, and even this year, we were relying so much on Kayla King to just run around and chase the guard that I think it really affected her shooting. And ever since then, we've kind of taken her responsibility and lightened the load a little bit and moved it around. And I think her shooting has gotten a lot better because she has fresher legs and be able to do so. And that's been something that we definitely talked about as a staff.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.